I offer my humble pranam at the Lord's feet of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome to video lecture on microcontroller and embedded system laboratory. In the previous lecture, actually I explained circuit diagram in detail. Just go through that video, then come back to this. I gave even demo also in this in that video. But here I'm going to explain actual program in detail. Okay. For more explanation regarding logic and circuit diagram, go through previous video. This is our problem statement: interface 4x4 keyboard and display the key code on LCD. This is our actual circuit diagram. So there'll be keyboard and there'll be LED LCD. Whatever the key we used to press, we have to display it on LCD. Okay, now this is the circuit diagram already explained in detail in the previous video. Just go through it for more explanation. Okay, therefore here we are going to configure this as input, P1.20, 21, 22, 23 as input, and 16, 17, 18, 19 as output. We are using port 1. Actually, we have port 0 and port 1. According to this particular diagram, we are going to use port 1. That is under port 1, P1.20 to 23 for column and P1.16 to 19 for rows. Here we have 4 rows, R1, R2, R3, R4, 4 rows, and there will be a 4 column, that is column 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's a 4x4 matrix keyboard. Okay, then here actually what we'll do is we have to display on LCD. Therefore, actually I explained detailed information about LCD in the previous video. Actually, I make 2 videos for LCD itself. For more detailed explanation, first go through LCD video, then come back, then we can start. Therefore, I'm not explaining about LCD, but without LCD, it's not possible to display the value on LCD. Therefore, here I'm not bothering about LCD part. Just go through it. Okay, it's a delay program. We have to write command, how to write a command to command register, then how to write a data into data register in the case of LCD, and how to initialize LCD. I just explain everything in detail. Before go through, watch the previous video, then come back to this. Okay, now I'm going to start the keyboard. For more detailed explanation, I will tell you, just go through the previous video for this. Okay, now here we are talking about 4x4 keyboard. Okay, now here if you want to enable the row, we need some data. Say I already explained about this. Here we know that there'll be 4 rows and there'll be 4 columns. Here there'll be 4 rows and there'll be 4 columns. Okay. If you want to read any data from any key, first we have to enable the row. How to enable the row? We have to make that row equal to high, means low. Say low, suppose here 1, 1, 1, 0, that indicates row 1 is enabled. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, that is second row is enabled. 1, 0, 1, 1, third row is enabled. 0, 1, 1, 1, that is fourth row is enabled, like this. Okay, for that purpose, just listen here. Enable row 1, we need this data to enable row 1. Actually, we are using P1.16 for row 1. The hexadecimal equivalent of this number is E. Then to enable row 2, this is the data. The hexadecimal equivalent of this number is 0xd. 0x stands for hexadecimal. Okay, that row is available at P1.16. We are going to control the row. This row, second row, using P1.16. Then we are going to control first row using P1.16. This is 17. Enable row 3. Say this is a row 3. We have to make row 3 equal to 0 to enable that. We have to make row 3 equal to 0 to enable that row 3. Then this is hexadecimal. This is binary. Here we are going to control row 3 by using P1.18. Then to enable row 4, we are going to use this particular data 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. Therefore, this is the data to enable row 4. So we are going to control row 4 using P1.19 line. We have to configure 16, 17, 18, 19 as output because we have to write this data. Okay, then only we can able to read, otherwise it is not possible to read. Then we have totally 3 different type of code: the scan code, X code, then ASCII code. Okay, scan code, hex code, ASCII code. So here the basically keyboard gives a scan code. That's a raw code, machine code. Okay, now in this case, here just we can see the circuit. The scan code for 0, scan code for 4, scan code for 8, scan code for C remains same. There is no change in the scan code. Okay, just we can see here. This is a scan code for 0, 1, 1, 0. Then scan code for 4, 1, 1, 1, 0. The scan code for 8, 1, 1, 0. That's here also 1, 1, 0. That remains same. If you go for here, that is a scan code for 159D. Same thing, because all these 4 keys comes under same column. Okay, if you press 1, we'll get 0 here also. If I press 5, here also low. Because if you press 9, we'll get low here. If you press D, we'll get low here. Whatever the key we are going to press, that corresponding column becomes low. For more details, go through previous video, because I'm not able to explain the same thing once again here. Therefore, if you press, the corresponding column becomes low. Okay, so that is the logic behind this. Therefore, the scan code for 159D same. Scan code for 26A is same. Scan code for 37BF remains same. As you can see this table, that is scan code for 0, 4, 8, C, same thing. The scan code for 3, 7, B and F remains same thing. Therefore, this 0 indicates a key 0 is pressed. This indicates key number 1 is pressed. This indicates key number 2 is pressed. This indicates key number 3, the switch number 3 is pressed. Okay, then after 3 we have 4 now. Therefore, for 0 to 3, these 4 keys comes under row 1. These 4 keys comes under row 2. These 4 keys comes under row 3. These 4 keys comes under row 4. Therefore, if you press key number 4, switch number 4, which comes under row 2, then that becomes low. Then here 5, 6, 7, then 8, 9, 10 means A, B, then C, D, E, F, like this. Okay, understood this? Okay, now here assume no key is pressed, no key is pressed. By the time, what is the meaning of this? That is here all 1. Okay, so suppose here if you go to the circuit, if no key is pressed, by the time it provides 1, 1, 1, 1, all are 1. All are 1 means no key is pressed from the any rows. Okay, that's the meaning of this. Now, then how to differentiate? How can you say the key 0 is pressed, or key 4 is pressed, or key 8 is pressed, how a key C is pressed? Because the scan code remains same. The scan code for 0, 4, 8, C remains same. The scan code for 3, 7, then B, F remains same. Then somebody has to be there to differentiate. How to differentiate? On the basis of row. That's why I have to enable only one row at a time. Then only it's possible to differentiate. If you try to enable more than one row, it's not possible. Therefore, enable only first row. Enable only first row. Then read. Then read. Suppose if you have all ones, there is no 0 here, that indicates no key is pressed. Then enable second row, the read. Suppose assume you get this data all ones, 4 ones. What it means? No key is pressed in the row 2 also. Then enable row 3. Then read. Assume here also we'll get 1, 1, 1, 1. What is the meaning of this? No key is pressed. Then enable fourth row. Read data from the keyboard with the alpha of IO pin register. Assume we're getting same data. What it means? Once again, no key is pressed in the fourth row also. Go back. Okay, go back. Enable, read, enable, read, enable, read. Then we have to do same thing infinitely. That is called a keyboard scan. It's called a scanning, keyboard scan. Okay, assume key number 0 is pressed. Then you get this scan code. So this is available in your IO pin registers. Because in this case, we are using port 1. Therefore, we have to use IO pin 1 register. IO 1 pin or IO pin 1 register. Suppose somewhere in somebody, they may use a port 0. By the time you have to go for IO pin 0 register. Now in this case, as for our example, we are using a port 1. Okay, P1.16 to 19 for row, P1.20 to 23 for column. Therefore, we have to go for IO pin 1 register. IO pin 1 register gives the status of the key pressed, keyboard status. Assume key 0 is pressed. Now, what is the scan code for 0? So this is a scan code for 0. Okay, this is low. If you press key number 1, this is low. If you press key number 2, this becomes low. If you press key number 3, the column 3 becomes, column 4 becomes 0. This is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Because key number 3 comes under column 4. See, 3 comes under column 4. F comes under column 4. C comes under column 1. D comes under column 2. That is very important. Now, I'm going to use one very important logic. Once if we know this logic, then the implementation part becomes easy. We can able to understand the code without any problem. What is the logic behind this? I'm using one very interesting logic by observing all this scan code. Just look here. What is, see here, there'll be a variable called key. At the beginning, this equal to 0 to make it 0. Okay, key equal to 0. So finally, it gives the value which key we have pressed. If you press key number 9, the key contains 9. If you press key number 4, the key contains 4. Okay, you see this. Now, count. What is the logic behind this? Count total number of ones before 0. Here, just look here. Here, 0 is there, then stop. Then display the current value of key. What is the value of key? 0. That's all. Here, 1 means what? Key is not pressed. Then count. So what is the value of key? 1. Then 0, stop. Okay. Then what is the value of key here? 1. Which key we have pressed? 1. Okay. How many ones we have here? 2 ones. Once we have encountered 0, stop. Therefore, how many ones? 2 ones. Which key we have pressed? 2. How many ones? 3 ones. Which key we have pressed? 3. Means you have to count total number of zeros before the total number of ones before 0. Total number of ones before 0. Total number of ones before 0. Here no ones. Okay, at the beginning itself we have 0. Therefore, key value is 0. Okay, assume no key is pressed in the first row. Then how many ones? 4 ones. Now what is the status of key? Key equal to 4. Then enable row 2. The read data from row 2 means read data from keyboard. Then the current status of keyboard is there on IO pin register. Then IO pin gives the information. Assume key number 4, switch number 4 is pressed. Then we'll get this scan code. So what is the column 1 status? Column 1 status is low. So low means, I told you already, display the current content of key. What is the current content of key? That is 4. Which key we have pressed? 4. Like that. Here 1. Okay, previously we have 4 ones. 4 1 plus 1, 5 ones. So once if you encounter 0, stop. Then here 4 plus 2, 6. Key number 6 is pressed. 4 plus 4, 3, 7. Okay, assume no key is pressed in the second row also. Then how many ones we have here? 4 ones. 4 plus 1, 4, 8. The status of key is 8. Then enable third row. So no key is pressed here. Here also no key is pressed. Enable third row. So I told you already, you have to enable only one row at a time. Then only we can able to read the data from the keyboard. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay, this is the main logic behind this. Okay. Now here, assume key 8 is pressed. The key 8 comes under column 1. Key number 8 comes under column 1. Therefore, here 0 means stop. So what is the status of key? That is 8. 4 plus 4, 8. So what is the, which key you have pressed? 8. Then we have to display it on LCD. Okay, in the same manner, 8 plus 1, 9. 8 plus 2, 10. Here 10. 8 plus 3, 11. 8 plus 3, 11. That is 11 is nothing but B. Suppose no key is pressed in the third row also. 4 ones. Here 4 ones, 4 ones, 4 ones. Therefore 12 ones. So what is the content of key? That is C. C is nothing but 12. 12 in decimal equal to C in hexadecimal. Okay. Now enable fourth row. Assume no key pressed in third row also. Enable fourth row. By the time if you try to press key number C, you will get this scan code. Just check the first bit. The first bit itself contains 0. 0 means stop and display the current status of key. What is the current status of key? That is C. That is C. That displays C on LCD. Suppose assume key C is not pressed. Then we have pressed D. Then this is the current status of IO pin register. Then what is the status of first bit? 1. 1 means increment. Add this one with previous count. Therefore, previously we have 12. 12 plus 1, 13. What is the hexadecimal equivalent of 13? D. Then once if you encounter 0, stop and display the current status of D like this. Say in the same manner here 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is nothing but F. Which key we have pressed? F. Assume no key is pressed in the fourth row also, we will get what? 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Therefore, what is the status of key? Key contains 16. 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 12, 16. The 16 in decimal equal to 10 in hexadecimal. Therefore, that indicates, how to compare with this value 16 or 10 in hexadecimal. If it is 10 in hexa, then it indicates no key is pressed in any row. Then make key equal to 0. Make key equal to 0. Start from beginning. Enable row 1. Do same thing. Repeat same thing. How many times? Infinite times. It must be infinite loop. So this is the logic behind this. Okay, without knowing logic, it is not. You can use a different type of logic, but I'm using this logic for writing this particular program. Therefore, count total number of ones before 0. Before 0. See here, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Here, in this case, what happened here? That is, if you check this, how many ones we have here? 4, 1, because no key is pressed. Right? This is a logic for this particular program. Now I'm going to explain program in detail. Okay. Now unsigned char key, it is for row, it is for C. Therefore we have 4 rows and 4 columns. Somebody has to be there to keep track of rows and columns. So we can able to use same program for 8 cross 8 or 16 cross 16, whatever it may be. The same logic is applicable. Just we have to change the row and column value. That's all. Key RC, then temp. I'm going to use one variable called temp, memory location called temp, unsigned in temp. Then unsigned char row value, it's an array equal to EDB7. What is the purpose of using this number? This is for to enable first row, for second row, to enable third row, to enable fourth row. Already I explained in detail in this. That is for row 1 E, row 2 D, row 3 E, B, and row 4 7. So I'm storing all these 4 values in the array. In the array, first row, second row, third row, fourth row. This data is very important. After enabling the row, then only you can able to read the data from the keyboard. So whatever the status is there, that is there in your IO pin register. Okay. Then unsigned char keypad matrix. Keypad matrix. Keypad matrix, that is 0 to F. How many keys we have here? 16 keys. 4 cross 4. 16. So depending upon your requirement, you can label it differently. This is a plus, this is minus, this is star. Okay, this is something division. This is something what you call equal or clear. You can rename it. There is no issue at all. You can rename it. So depending upon your requirement, you can modify this label. There is no issue at all. We can just in this case, in this tutorial, just I'm going to explain how to get a scan code, then how to convert scan code to export, then how to display on LCD. But if you want to display on LCD, we have to send ASCII code. Therefore, if it store the values like 0 to F in this way within double quote, okay, then it's going to store ASCII code of 0 is available in keypad matrix 0. Then keypad matrix 1 gives the ASCII code for 1. The keypad matrix 2 gives the ASCII code for 2. The keypad matrix 15 gives the ASCII code for F. Therefore, basically, this array gives the ASCII code of all these things. Because if you want to display anything on LCD, we have to send ASCII code. You are not supposed to send as it is X number, F or 9 or 2. No, it's not possible. Therefore, if you want to display anything on LCD, you have to send ASCII code only. That is very important. Therefore, here I'm going to use this something like a lookup table. Suppose if you have 1, we have pressed key number 1, then here keypad matrix 1. Okay, keypad matrix 1. 1 means what? I'm going to get the ASCII code for this 1, then display it on LCD. Okay, suppose assume we are going to press F, then it becomes keypad matrix F. Then it takes you to this location. It's going to get this ASCII code. Then we are displaying that ASCII code on where? LCD. Means you're going to display F. If you want to display F, then we have to send ASCII code of F. If you want to display 9, you have to send ASCII code of 9. then only you can able to display. Therefore, if you want to understand LCD properly, just go through my previous video on LCD. I make two parts for LCD. Okay, then here init LCD. What is this? Init LCD, initialize LCD. So there will be a function for that. So go through that. Then here we know that we have to configure P1.20 to 23 as input and P1.16 to 19 as output. Therefore, we have to go for IO direction register because we are using port 1. Therefore, IO1 DIR, or you can write IO DIR1. Both are same. Therefore, 1 for output and 0 for input. Therefore, we are using starting from P1.16 to 19, correct na? P1.16 to 19 for output and P1.20 to 23 as input. So I'm going to use this bit position starting from 16 to 23. The remaining bits are not used. Okay, remaining lines are not used. We are going to concentrate only on this 4 bits. Only on this 4 bits. Therefore, I told you already 1 for output, 0 for input. Okay, therefore I have to send this data. Therefore, we have to configure P1.20 16 to 19 as output, 1 for output, 0 for input. I have to configure these 4 as output and these 4 lines as input. Therefore, we have to write this data. What is the hexadecimal equivalent of this? 0 0 0 F 0 0 0 0. This is binary form. So this is hexadecimal form. Then if you write this data into IO direction register, it's going to configure these 4 lines as input and these 4 lines as output. It is very, very important. Just you can try, just you can make it 0. You can make it 0, everything 0 means everything configured as output. If you try to read, it's not possible. It won't work. It won't work. The configuration is very, very important. Okay. Any doubts here? So let's proceed. Therefore, set column as input, that is from 20 to 23, and set row lines as output, that is starting from 16 to 19. Okay. Any doubts here? Okay, understood, no? Then, so this is about how to enable your rows. Then means how to configure your rows and columns by using IO direction register. Then we know that if you go for a normal C program, if you want to perform any matrix manipulation, matrix addition, matrix subtraction, matrix multiplication, whatever it may be, because we know that there'll be rows and columns. Therefore, we require 2 for loops. If you want to manipulate array, okay, write a program to arrange the number in ascending order, descending order, find the largest stuff, n numbers, find the smallest stuff, n numbers, then we have to go for an array. Then by the time, then if you want to perform any manipulation with respect to array, we have to go for 1 for loop. Therefore, 1 for loop for array, and we require 2 for loop for what? For matrix. 2 for loop for matrix. That's why here I'm going to use 2 for loop. That is outer for loop for your row and the inner for loop to control your column. Okay. So this is your beginning of outer for loop. This is the end of your outer for loop. Okay, end of your outer for loop. So this is your beginning of inner for loop. This is end of your inner for loop. Therefore, we require 2 for loop. Now here, this is the thing. This is while loop. It is infinite loop. I told you already. We have to keep on scanning each and everything infinitely. Therefore, it must be infinite loop. Within infinite loop, we require 2 for loop. Therefore, how many rows we have? 4 rows. That's why we have to vary row means R value from 0 to 4. And how many columns? We have 4 columns. Therefore, we have to vary columns from 0 to 4. Okay, depending upon your requirement, we can modify this value. Suppose if it is 8 cross 8, then 0 to 8, here 0 to 8. Okay, if it is 3 cross 3, here 0, 3, here 0, 3. Therefore, you can keep modifying this value. There is no problem at all. Okay, now the next thing is, I told you already the logic. Once if you know the logic, this program becomes simple. Then IO clear, IO1 clear. What is the meaning of this? Because first we have to clear these lines. This is very important. There will be chance of having some junk value. Suppose if it is 0, 0, 0, 0, all 0, then what happened? The all rows are enabled. If it is 1, 1, 1, something like that, then just to start with, we have to make it low. That is here 0, 0, 0, 0. For that, we have to write this data into IO clear register. So wherever we have 1, that line becomes low. If you go for IO set, wherever we have 1, that line becomes high. That's the meaning of IO set and IO clear. We know that we are using port 1. That's why we have to go for IO1 set, IO1 clear. If it is port 0, assume some vendor, some manufacturer using port 0. By the time here we have to modify this as what IO0 and IO0, IO0 set, IO0 clear. Then tell me what is the purpose of using this IO clear? First you have to make it low. This is for row. Okay, this for low. No need to do anything with respect to column. Here you have to make it low. Next, R value, row value R. What is the value of R? 0. 0 equal R equal to 0. 0 less than 4. 0 less than 4, that is 2. Then it enters into the loop, enters into this block. Okay, now this step is over. Then once if you execute this statement, it's going to get that value, that is R value, row value of R. What is the value of R? 0. Then what we'll get? We'll get this number. We'll get this number. Okay, is nothing but 1110, means it's the value for to enable first row. But we know that the row line start from, actually this line is connected to P1.16. Therefore, we have to place 1110 starting from P1.16 to P1.19. That is very important. Suppose assume this is not there. This is not there. If you write that value E directly into IO1 set, what happens? It's going to write this value starting from P1.0. But actually, according to the hardware we are starting from, we are starting from where? P1.16. That's why I shift this value towards left how many times? 16 times. The shifted value will be written into IO1 set register. Then it is going to write this data exactly at P1.16, 17, 18, 19. Then it becomes 1110, means enable first row. That is enabling row. The first row is enabled. That is ready. Okay, we can able to read data from first row. How many keys we have in the first row? 3 keys, 3 columns, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. Then already IO pin 1, it's a 32-bit register. Already IO pin 1 contains the status of the keyboard, whether key is pressed or not. Then just I'm going to copy the content of IO pin 1 to temp register. Okay, temp is nothing but integer variable. Unsigned in temp. What is the size of temp? It is 32-bit. It is 4 byte. The size of int is 4 byte in this case. Okay. Now I'm going to copy the status of IO pin 1 into temp. Assume we press key number 2. If you press key number 2, the column number 2 is low. The remaining lines are high. What is the status? 1, 0, 1, 1. Therefore, here 1, 0, 1, 1. It is nothing but 20, 21, 22, 23. Therefore, 22 is low. Okay. Here low, here high. Here just I'm bothering about only these 4 bits because we have 4 columns. We are not supposed to bother about remaining bits. Therefore, this is the content of IO pin in binary form. Once if we press key number 2, once you press key number 2, we'll get this particular value. Clear? Okay, understood on this point. Therefore, here I assume a key number 2 is pressed. If key number 2 is pressed, therefore this becomes low. Then shift the content of this temp. The temp contains this value towards what? Towards right. How many times? 20 times. Therefore, it's going to shift this. All these 20 bits comes out, and this information comes here. Okay, this gives the status of column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. In another way, this gives the status of key 0, 1, 2, 3. According to this code, it's called a scan code. The key number 0 is not pressed. Key number 1 is not pressed. Key number 2 is pressed. Low means it is pressed. 1 means it is not pressed. Okay. Then we have to write a program to count total number of ones before 0. So this inner for loop take care of this particular logic. Okay. Then so how many columns we have? 4 columns. Therefore, we have to vary the C value from 0 to 4. C equal to 0, 0 less than 4, 2, it enters into this. Here temp. So what is the value of temp? Now temp is this much. Okay, just I'm going to write properly. Okay, let it be. We have temp. What is the value of temp? The temp equal to 10, 1 1. Okay, then we have masking data. What is the masking data here? The masking data is, that is hexadecimal 0 1, let it be. Okay, that is equal to this. Okay, the masking data equal to this much. Then here, that is 0 0 0 1. Okay, then we have to multiply both logically. That's the meaning of this. Okay, now multiply the content of temp with 1. This is logical multiplication, the bitwise and operation. Therefore, 1 into 1, 1. Here 1 into 0, 0. Here 0 into 0, 0. 1 into 0, 0. Therefore, what is the output of this? We'll get 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, now this is the output of this particular thing. Okay, now here the whole expression, this complete expression is replaced with this value. That's a non-zero. It's not zero. One means what? Non-zero value. Oh, it's going to treat this non-zero value as a true. True. Not true. False. False means what? It won't execute this statement. It won't go to this. Then it comes here key plus plus. Key plus plus. Okay, what is the initial value of key? Key equal to 0. Now that becomes 1. Means here 1, if it is 1, increment. That's the logic here. Okay, now I'm incrementing key by 1. Then temp equal to temp. Shift towards right. How many times? 1 time. Now this 1 1 0 1 is 1 1 0. 1 1 is there now. This first bit is completed. Therefore, we have to shift towards right. Then that is going to eliminate that. Therefore, we have to multiply with this one. Okay, now once again what we'll get? We'll get 1 into 1 1, 1 into 1 1. Once again this condition is what? False. Here it's something like this now. 1 into 1, say this is 1 0 1. Here 0 0 1. We'll get 1. 1 means non-zero. Non-zero means true. Therefore not true. False. False means it won't go to this. It comes here, increment. Key becomes 2. Okay, key becomes 2. Then shift once again. If we shift, then this value comes out. Then we have to mask with what? This value. Then what we'll get here? Here we'll get 0. See here 0 into 1 0, 1 into 0 0, therefore 0. Here the whole expression, this complete expression is replaced with 0. 0 means what? False. Not false, true. Not false, true. True means what? Go to display. Go to display. Then it takes you to that particular program. Go to display. Go to display. Go to display. Now just I'm going to see that. So here go to display. The control comes here. I'm checking the value of key. What is the value of key? Key equal to 2. 2 equal to 1 0, false. Then else it goes to else. Command right 87 means we are planning to display the key pressed at the center of first row in LCD. That is the purpose of using this particular command. Then data right keypad matrix within the bracket key. What is the value of key? 2. Therefore, it's going to get the ASCII code for 2. Then it's going to write into data register of LCD. Then we can able to see a 2 at the center of first row. For demo, you can go through the previous video. I explained logic and I gave demo also. Please go through the previous video. Okay. Now this is the way. So this is the way actually. Okay. Any doubts here? Any doubts? Okay. Then I will go back. I will explain one more code. Okay. Now just I consider this. This is one case. That is key here key 2 is pressed. Assume no key is pressed. Assume no key is pressed. If no key is pressed, then what is the content of IO pin? This is the content of IO pin. Okay, and this is copied to temp. Then once again shift the content of temp towards right. How many times? 20 times. The temp becomes this. Now this gives the status of your keyboard because we are using 4 columns. That's why I have to consider only 4 bit. Now here it's going to execute this inner for loop. How many times? 4 times. Then it comes out. Then what's the status of key? The key becomes 4. Key becomes 4. Then after coming out of this inner for loop, it will go back. Then increment the value of row. Row becomes 1. Then 1 less than 4, true. Then it comes here. Then clear once again. Then get the row value, that is rval of 1. It's going to get the scan code. Okay, enable code for this one. Actually, we know that we have what do you call 1101. We need this data. We'll get that data, then shift that data towards left. How many times? 16. Then the shifted value is written in pivot set. Now it enables second row. It disable first, first, third, and fourth row. Enable only second row. Okay, then read. Okay, now if we try to read, suppose assume we press key number 5. We know that key number 5 comes under second row. Okay, we assume key number 5 is pressed, therefore that column is low. Here this column is low, the remaining columns are high. Therefore now we have to repeat same step. So what is the status of key? The key contains 4. Okay. Then here GC equal to 0, C less than 4, true. It comes here. Then temp. What is the value of temp? The first bit 1. The 1 into 1, 1. That becomes 1. Whole thing is 1. 1 means true, not true, false. It won't execute this. Increment the value of key. Key becomes 5. Then shift this value. We'll get this value 0. Then 0 into 1. Whole thing is 0. 0 means false. Okay, not false, true. Then it takes you to this statement, go to display. We are going to execute this particular code. Therefore here we are checking this contains 5 equal to 10, false. It comes over here. Then we have to display at the center of first row in LCD. Then here data write the ASCII code in data register of LCD. Therefore keypad matrix here. What is the value of this key? That is nothing but 5. It's going to get the ASCII code for 5 and it's going to display at the center of the first row of LCD. Okay, any doubts here? Then suppose assume there is no key press in the first row, second row, third row, fourth row. By that time the status of key equal to 16, that is 10. Then it comes out of outer for loop also. Okay, no key press in the first row, second row, third row, fourth row. The count of key is nothing but 10. Say then it comes out of for loop, outer for loop also. Then here immediately check the status of key. If key equal to 10, that is nothing but 16. Key equal to 0, then that indicates what? Make key equal to 0. Then it goes back. That is, it's a end of while loop. Then it starts from the beginning. So it is a while loop. Once you start make key equal to 0, for r equal to 0, r less than 4, it's keep on repeating infinitely. Therefore, this must be infinite loop. By the time we can press anywhere at any moment, the corresponding number is displayed on LCD. Okay, any doubts here? Understood? This is our end of main program. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, you can write in a comment section. Okay, therefore, better to go through the previous video, explained each and every logic thoroughly. Therefore, if you go through both the videos, you can able to get strong idea about it. Okay, so thanks for watching. Okay, thank you very much.